The mountain cabin stood silent against the backdrop of snow-capped peaks, its wooden walls weathered by countless winters. Jay Park moved with quiet precision, his ranger boots leaving soft imprints on the wooden floor. At 35, he knew these mountains like the lines on his own hands, every trail, every hidden path, every secret whisper of the wilderness. Something was different this time, not a dramatic change, but a subtle shift that experienced eyes like his could detect. A cup slightly moved from its usual spot. A thin layer of dust disturbed near the pantry, small signs that someone, or something, had been moving inside his personal space. He had chosen this isolation deliberately. After years of urban life in Seoul, the mountains offered peace. No noise, no complications, just silence and the occasional wildlife wandering through his territory. But now something felt off. The first clear indication came one cold morning. Jay found a half-eaten protein bar near his hunting gear. He knew he hadn't touched it. The wrapper was clean, opened with precision, not torn like an animal would. Something intelligent had been here. His ranger training kicked in. He began to observe not with fear but with calculated curiosity. Small food items disappeared. A blanket would be slightly repositioned. Once he caught a glimpse of movement, something shifting like liquid shadow between his bookshelf and the old leather armchair. The cabin, nestled deep in the Korean mountain range, had been his sanctuary. Built by his grandfather decades ago, it held memories of quiet hunting trips and peaceful winter nights. Now it harbored an unexpected guest. Tracking became a silent game. Jay left deliberate signs, a plate with bread, a cup of water, carefully positioned to understand his visitor's behavior. Each morning something would change. The food would be partially consumed, water slightly reduced, but no direct contact. His military background from previous years serving in the Korean Border Patrol made him patient. He understood waiting. He understood observation. This was not about confrontation but understanding. The temperature dropped significantly that week. Snow covered the mountain trails, creating a white blanket that muffled all sounds. Jay noticed heat signatures near his fireplace. Something was using the warmth when he was asleep or away. Electronics showed strange readings. His basic thermal camera, used for wildlife tracking, picked up intermittent heat signatures that didn't match any known mountain creature. Something was here. Something intelligent. Something carefully avoiding direct interaction. One night, he deliberately left, the cabin door slightly open. Not an invitation, but a test. A calculated risk to understand what shared his mountain space. The wind whistled through pine trees, carrying mysterious mountain secrets. His sleeping bag remained near the fireplace, offering a clear view of the entire cabin's interior. Years of ranger experience had taught him to sleep lightly, to be aware of every sound, every movement. The cabin became a complex puzzle, and he was determined to solve it. The visitor, whoever or whatever it was, moved with remarkable precision. No loud sounds, no dramatic entrances, just calculated, careful movements that suggested advanced awareness. Something was learning. Something was studying him as carefully as he was studying it. Jay Park understood one fundamental truth about the wilderness. Nothing happens without reason. Every movement, every slight change told a story, and this story was just beginning to unfold in his small mountain sanctuary. The night deepened. Snow continued falling outside, and inside the cabin, an unexpected encounter was silently preparing to reveal itself. Would you like me to continue with the next part, or modify this section? The morning light crept slowly across the cabin floor, casting long shadows between wooden planks. Jay remained motionless, his breathing controlled, eyes barely open. Something was different today. Near his provision shelf, a slight movement caught his attention. Not the random shuffle of a mouse or a mountain rodent, but something more deliberate. A shape, almost transparent, almost invisible, shifted between his stored canned goods and the old radio. Hana, the alien visitor, knew she had been discovered. Her species had advanced camouflage technology that allowed near-perfect blending with surroundings. But Jay Park was no ordinary human. His years of ranger training had sharpened senses beyond normal human perception. She was smaller than an average human, barely reaching 5 feet in height. Her skin had a slight metallic sheen when light hit it correctly, almost like liquid mercury. Technological implants along her spine allowed her to manipulate her body's molecular structure, creating near-perfect invisibility. Her spacecraft had crashed 2 weeks earlier, deep in the mountain forest. The emergency landing was controlled but devastating. Critical systems were damaged. Her communication devices were broken. Survival became her only mission. This human's cabin became her unexpected refuge. She studied him carefully. Humans were unpredictable. In her galactic experience, most intelligent species would either attack or report her presence to authorities. But this human was different. He left food deliberately. He didn't call military or scientific teams. His movements were calm, calculated. Each day he seemed more curious than threatened. This fascinated her. Her species, the Lyrians, were technologically advanced but physically fragile. Generations of technological dependence had reduced their physical resilience. Humans, by contrast, seemed rugged, adaptable. Survival was coded into their genetic memory. Jay's cabin held fascinating human artifacts, old photographs, hunting equipment, books about mountain survival. She would carefully examine these when he was away, learning about human culture through these small windows. Her emergency suit was damaged. The thermal regulator was failing. Mountain winters were harsh and her body temperature regulation was compromised. The cabin's warmth became her lifeline. Each night, she would carefully position herself near the fireplace, absorbing heat without detection. Communication was impossible. Her species had advanced telepathic technologies, but human brains were different. Complex, unpredictable. She couldn't read his thoughts, only observe his actions. Food was another challenge. Her digestive system was different from humans. She could consume protein-based substances, but needed to modify them using her suit's internal processing unit. The protein bars and dried meats in Jay's cabin became her primary nutrition source. Outside, mountain winds howled. Snow-covered pine forest created a white landscape that seemed both beautiful and threatening. Her damaged communication device continued sending weak signals, hoping her species would locate her before potential human authorities discovered her presence. Jay moved slowly that morning. He prepared coffee, the rich aroma filling the cabin. Hana remained perfectly still, her camouflage technology making her indistinguishable from the surrounding wooden surfaces. One wrong move could expose her entire mission. Her mission was simple: survive, gather information, understand this planet. Her spacecraft's emergency protocols were clear: minimal interaction, maximum observation. But something about this human ranger was different. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't aggressive. He seemed curious. As sunlight expanded across the cabin floor, Hana remained motionless. Another day of careful survival began. Another day of watching. Another day of learning about this unexpected human who shared her temporary mountain sanctuary. The game of hidden observation continued. Would you like me to proceed with the next part or modify this section? Winter's grip tightened around the mountain cabin. Temperatures dropped below freezing, creating a harsh landscape of ice and snow. Jay understood survival better than most. His years as a ranger had taught him that wilderness showed no mercy. One particularly cold night, he deliberately left additional supplies near the fireplace: warm blankets, extra dried meat, a sealed container of hot soup. Not as a trap, but as an offering. Something within him understood his hidden visitor needed help. Hana watched carefully. Her technological implants registered the human's body temperature, breathing patterns, movement sequences. Each action seemed calculated, yet compassionate. Unlike other species she had encountered, this human displayed a unique combination of caution and kindness. Her damaged communication suit struggled in the extreme cold. Internal systems were failing. Thermal regulation became increasingly difficult. The mountain's harsh environment tested her technological adaptations to their limits. Jay prepared the cabin meticulously. He knew mountain survival wasn't just about physical strength but strategic thinking. Extra firewood, sealed food containers, warm clothing strategically placed. His grandfather's survival lessons echoed in every careful movement. Something changed that night. As snow accumulated outside, creating a white blanket that muffled all sounds, Hana made a decision. Survival required risk. Her camouflage technology slowly deactivated, revealing her true form near the fireplace. She was small, almost fragile-looking, metallic skin with subtle technological lines running across her body. Her eyes, large, reflecting multiple color spectrums, studied Jay with intense curiosity. No threat, just observation. Jay didn't move. Years of wilderness training had taught him patience. Sudden movements could break delicate moments of trust. He watched her, maintaining a calm breathing rhythm that suggested non-aggression. Her emergency suit's internal systems were dying. Temperature readings showed critical levels. Without intervention, her biological systems would fail within hours. Human intervention became her only potential survival mechanism. Slowly, carefully, Jay reached for an extra thermal blanket. He moved with deliberate, slow movements. No sudden gestures, no aggressive postures, just a simple offer of survival assistance. Hana's technological implants analyzed every micro-expression. Human body language was complex, filled with subtle communication signals. This human wasn't preparing to capture or study her. He was offering help. Communication remained impossible through traditional means. But something deeper occurred. A mutual understanding of survival, of respecting unknown territories, of finding connection beyond linguistic or species boundaries. The cabin's fireplace crackled. Warmth expanded slowly across wooden floors. Outside, mountain winds created haunting, musical patterns against snow-covered pine trees. Two beings from completely different worlds shared a moment of unexpected alliance. Jay's ranger training had prepared him for many scenarios: wilderness rescue, wildlife encounters, mountain survival challenges. But nothing compared to this moment, offering assistance to a being not from this planet. Hana's technological systems began stabilizing. The thermal blanket, combined with the fireplace's heat, provided necessary energy restoration. Her internal processors calculated survival probabilities. Chances improved dramatically. No words were exchanged. No dramatic declarations of friendship or understanding. Just a simple act of survival, of recognizing another living being's need for protection, of extending help without expecting anything in return. As midnight approached, the mountain cabin became something more than a simple shelter. It transformed into a meeting point of two different worlds, two different species, united by a fundamental understanding of survival. The night deepened. Snow continued falling outside, and inside, an unexpected alliance began taking shape. Would you like me to continue with the next part or modify this section? The first drone appeared 3 days later, a metallic shadow against the pure white mountain landscape, its movements precise and calculated. Jay spotted it first, a glint of mechanical technology cutting through falling snow, moving with unnatural precision. Hana's body tensed. Her technological implants recognized the design immediately. Orcs collective reconnaissance units. Advanced. Ruthless. Programmed to track and eliminate potential fugitives across multiple star systems. Mountain survival became a complex game of strategy. Jay's ranger experience merged with Hana's technological knowledge. They communicated through minimal gestures, understanding that sound could attract the drone's attention. The drone moved like a predator, scanning, searching. Its advanced sensor systems cut through snow and forest cover, looking for specific energy signatures. Hana's damaged spacecraft signal made her trackable. Each movement risked exposure. Jay understood terrain. He knew every mountain path, every hidden valley, every potential cover point. His knowledge of the landscape became their primary defense mechanism. The drone represented advanced technology, but mountains held their own complex survival rules. Hana's emergency suit began recalibrating. defensive protocols activated. Tiny technological modules along her spine created localized energy, disruption fields, not enough to completely hide her, but sufficient to create confusion in mechanical tracking systems. The first confrontation happened near an old forest clearing. The drone descended, cutting through pine trees with surgical precision. Its scanning beams created intricate light patterns against snow-covered ground. Mechanical, cold, calculating. Jay moved first. Years of military training combined with ranger wilderness skills made him understand tactical positioning. He used natural mountain terrain as cover: rocks, trees, snowbanks. Each movement carefully planned to minimize detection. Hana's technological systems provided critical information: drone weakness points, energy consumption patterns, potential interference frequencies. Her species might be physically fragile, but their technological understanding was comprehensive. The drone began systematic area scanning, precise geometric patterns cutting through forest landscape. Each movement suggested advanced artificial intelligence. No emotional responses. Just pure calculated hunting behavior. Mountain winds became their unexpected ally. Snow movement, natural terrain variations, small environmental changes that mechanical systems struggled to comprehend. Jay and Hana used these natural variations as complex camouflage strategies. One critical moment changed everything. Jay discovered an old mountain cave system, perfect for temporary hiding. Natural rock formations would interfere with mechanical scanning technologies. A potential sanctuary against technological pursuit. Hana's emergency communication systems began sending coded signals, not to her original species, but creating calculated interference that would confuse the pursuing drone. Each signal was a complex mathematical puzzle designed to create technological confusion. The drone's movements became increasingly erratic. Natural mountain environment combined with technological interference created unexpected tracking challenges. Its artificial intelligence struggled to comprehend the complex environmental variables. Survival wasn't about overwhelming technological power. It was about understanding complex environmental interactions, adaptation, strategic thinking, something humans excelled at, much to the surprise of more technologically advanced species. As evening approached, the mountain landscape transformed. Snow continued falling. Mechanical drone movements became slower, less precise. The hunting mechanism gradually lost its initial tracking capabilities. Jay and Hana remained perfectly still. Two different species. One mountain, one shared understanding of survival. The drone's mechanical sounds gradually faded, lost in the complex mountain wilderness. The first battle was won, but they both understood. This was just the beginning. Would you like me to continue with the final part or modify this section? Morning light broke through mountain clouds, casting soft shadows across the hidden cave system. Jay and Hana sat quietly, the aftermath of their survival strategy slowly sinking in. No words were needed. Their connection transcended traditional communication methods. Hana's emergency communication device flickered. Weak signals reached beyond mountain ranges, transmitting encrypted messages to her distant civilization. But something had changed in her transmission protocols. Instead of pure survival data, she included detailed observations about humans. Her species viewed technological superiority as ultimate power. Humans represented something entirely different: adaptability, raw survival instincts, strategic thinking that couldn't be programmed or predicted by artificial intelligence. Jay prepared a simple meal. Mountain survival skills meant understanding, nutrition, heat conservation, and resource management. Each movement revealed layers of human evolutionary adaptations that fascinated Hana's technological understanding. Communication remained complex. Hana's telepathic technologies couldn't fully decode human brain patterns, but something deeper emerged: a mutual understanding beyond language, survival, respect, unexpected connection. Her damaged spacecraft's emergency beacon continued sending signals. But now, those signals carried different information. Humans weren't just another species to be categorized or studied. They were potential galactic allies with unprecedented adaptive capabilities. Mountain winds carried stories of their unexpected encounter. Pine forests witnessed a moment of interspecies understanding that defied traditional technological expectations. One ranger, one alien visitor, one shared mountain sanctuary. Jay's ranger training had prepared him for wilderness challenges, wildlife encounters, extreme weather conditions, but nothing compared to this unexpected alliance, a being from another world, sharing his mountain refuge. Hana's technological systems began comprehensive human behavior analysis. Each of Jay's movements told a story of evolutionary adaptation, how humans survived not through technological superiority, but through resilience, strategic thinking, unexpected problem-solving capabilities. Her civilization would receive a report unlike any previous galactic exploration documentation. Humans weren't just another species to be studied. They represented a complex, unpredictable evolutionary model that defied standard technological classifications. As afternoon approached, they prepared for potential future challenges. The drone's destruction was temporary. More would come. Their alliance became a critical survival strategy. Jay's mountain survival skills merged with Hana's technological knowledge. They weren't just hiding. They were creating a complex survival strategy that combined human intuition with advanced technological understanding. The cave system became their temporary headquarters. Natural rock formations provided protection, hidden communication channels, a sanctuary against mechanical pursuit. Hana's emergency suit continued healing. Technological implants gradually restored functionality, but her perspective had fundamentally transformed. Humans represented an evolutionary model her civilization had never fully comprehended. Mountain landscape changed. Snow began melting. Sunlight expanded across rocky terrain. Their unexpected alliance represented more than personal survival. It became a potential bridge between distant civilizations. No dramatic declarations were made. No grand promises of future cooperation. Just a simple understanding that survival sometimes emerges from unexpected connections, from recognizing intelligence beyond technological measurements. As evening approached, they prepared for potential future challenges. The mountain cabin awaited their return. Their story was just beginning. Two beings, one mountain, an unexpected connection that would potentially change galactic understanding forever. The wilderness kept their secret. For now. Would you like me to modify or expand on this final part?